These are the 4th and 5 pre-summer rankings for the teams in the SEC. In dead last, I have Vanderbilt. The Commodores got rated this offseason, but I see maybe 2 to 3 possible wins for the Commodores. They also have that one sneaky game a year where they play really well, so hopefully they bring their best week in and week out and can grab a few more wins. At 15th, I have the Arkansas Razorbacks. The Razorbacks were a mess last season, going 4-8, and honestly, I don't know if they're going to get better this year. Bobby Petrino is back, which should be interesting, and maybe their portal additions can help them get above 5 wins. Next up at 14th, I have the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I think they have the chance to win 4 or more games this season. It's Levy's first year with the Bulldogs, and I'll be excited to see what he has in store. At 13th, I have Florida. The Gators have the chance to shock the world this season with a team full of young talent. Mertz will most likely be the starter, but I think Lagway will be right on his toes. Their final 7-game stretch at the end of the year is so brutal though. Billy Napier is out if they don't have a positive season this year. At 12th, I have the Kentucky Wildcats. I think Mark Stoops' team will have the chance to compete for bowl contention this coming season. I've been high on Brock Vandagriff since high school, so it'll be fun to see how he ends up at Kentucky. At 11th is South Carolina. This is a really important season for Shane Beamer. Placing an experienced quarterback like Spencer Rattler with Lenore Sellers might be interesting to watch down the stretch. I see 4 auto-win type games on the schedule, and I think they should be able to add maybe 4 more. At 10th, I have the Auburn Tigers. I think they have an overall better roster than some of the previously mentioned teams, but there are still a ton of holes to plug if you're Hugh Freeze and company. At 9th, I have Mike Elko's A&M. At the end of the season, I think they could be bowl eligible, but Aggie fans need to give him 2 to 3 more years before they talk about CFP. Brian Kelly's LSU Tigers come in at 8th. The talent they have to replace worries me, but I still think Coach Kelly is one of the best coaches in the sport of college football. Year 3 is super important for Kelly and the Tigers, and with a revamped conference, I think they could come away with some major big-time wins. At 7th, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. This upcoming season will be an interesting one. I don't think it's a make-or-break season for Coach Venables like a lot of people do, and they avoid Georgia, but they do play some really hard games down the stretch. I think they'll be more ready than some people think. At number 6, I have the Tennessee Volunteers. Nico Iamaleava is the best quarterback Josh Heupel will have had in Knoxville. The young talent will get his first collegiate season under his belt as a starter and could honestly win a Heisman Trophy in my opinion. The major talking point on this team will always be the defense and whether or not they can keep up with play this year. I think it's go time for the Vols. At number 5, I have Missouri. Eli Drinkwitz and his team are ready to roll into SEC contention with what might be one of the more explosive offenses in the country. They did their job in the portal attacking their team's needs. Now it's all about trying to land in the 1 through 4 spot in the conference for the Tigers. At number 4, I have Kalen DeBoer's Alabama. A lot of people are nervous about the post-Saban era in Tuscaloosa, but I think Coach DeBoer and his staff have done an amazing job this offseason with all the eyes that have been on them. At number 3, we got the Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns enter the SEC replacing a lot of talent, but they are in a super good position coming into the conference and have some tough ones on the schedule. They are ready to make a statement this season, and I'll be excited to see how this inaugural year plays out for them. I think we should keep a heavy eye on them early though. At number 2, I got the Ole Miss Rebels. I think this is the year we finally see the Ole Miss Rebels make the CFP. I like every aspect about this team across the board. I'm a huge fan of Lane Kiffin and always have been, and the Rebels are ready to compete. At number 1, to no one's surprise, I got the Georgia Bulldogs. The spring for Coach Smart and company didn't turn too many heads, which I think shows a level of consistency, and we didn't see anything out of the ordinary for Coach Smart's team. They plugged the holes that they needed to fill through the portal and are most people's favorite to win it all. I think they will be on a revenge tour this year.